You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I had to come back at you with another live stream. The recent live stream I did is on members only because I cuss out a lot. I went in and I want to apologize to those who watched the live stream. You heard me cuss a lot like a sailor to this particular lady content creator go by the name of DoorDash. I went off, y'all. I really went off. And so I do apologize to those who viewed the stream. And I went off a particular person that was in the chat. I said, "What the heck you laughing about?" I really went off. So that's on me. That's because I was very passionate and I don't like to be lied to, particularly when I know I did DoorDash. And I know that you can make serious money, even though it was back then where I made 10K, almost 10K a month in 2020. Yeah, things were shut down where you can make over 2,000 a week, close to 3,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was in, particularly throughout the states, except Florida for the most part. You go to other particular states back then. For those who was doing DoorDash in 2020, and I would venture to say to 2023, you was making serious money. See, when I came back down here in 2022, in parts of 2023, I was making close to 5K a month doing DoorDash. So to hear DoorDash loud on the internet talking about she's struggling, particularly on her YouTube platform, it's a lie. Now, I was transparent with my audience. I don't make no money like that on the internet, right? I make something, yet I don't make that much money on the internet, right? So when she says she makes 500 a month, I'm like, yo, this lady lying because you could say that you estimated of making 500, yet there's no way based on your views, based on people sharing your video, based on people liking your video. There's no way that you're struggling on YouTube. There's only a few of us that really don't make that much money on YouTube, and I happen to be one of them. I was very transparent with the audience. I showed them what I made this month and what I got last month, which was three something, and I'm only making one something close to two so far. So she's making a lot in her lies. So for her to lie, like, why would you lie for? Why would you lie? Why would you lie about it? And so, like I said, I want to apologize to the audience. I went off. I was cussing a lot. I cussed her out because I was so pissed off how she just said a bold-faced lie saying that she made 500 a month on her recent YouTube earnings. That is a lie. She made way more than that. Way more than that. And so to hear her do this content talking about she wants to take people to court, she ain't taking nobody to court. No way. There's no way. And so I just wanted to say to those who viewed the video that I was really ticked off. I was because I'm very passionate about the work I do, and to see somebody lying to the audience that watched their platform that she was going through it when she was dashing is a total lie. She made serious money, you know, probably 2 years back, a few years back. Now it's depending on, the economy is different than it was back then. So yeah, you may make some money here and there. Sometimes you may not make as much on DoorDash. At the same time, she acting like she ain't making serious money on YouTube, you know. So all I'm telling you is that I made some serious money. I made close to 10K a month back in 2020, 2021. It was fluctuating between 2 to 4 a month because things started opening up back a little bit here and there. Then when things really fully opened up in New York later on in 2021, that's when, I stopped doing as much deliveries because there was too much traffic and the pay was going down. It wasn't up as much and people wasn't as tipping as they were before. Because things were open, people had more flexibility to do what they wanted to do with their money. And then I started seeing the change, and I wanted to get out of New York by then. When things started opening up in New York, I wanted to get out, and then you know the rest. I've been to Florida, so like you can make serious money doing it now, especially if you do it nighttime. During the day, it's tough to make serious money. So if you do it in the nighttime, of course, you make sure you got your stuff, you got what you need, boom, 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 and you have somebody with you. If you by yourself, you got your flashlights, whatever, particularly down here, and you make sure you're good. And you can make a good, decent amount, maybe 100, 150 in about 3 to 4 hours, because there's no traffic, you know. What she don't tell you is that you can make serious money doing that if it's not as much traffic during the nighttime. You'll be able to get more people to support you. Like at the end of the day, like when it comes to the money, I don't like that you lying on money. That really ticked me off because I'm sitting here and I know what it's like to go through it. And here she is, she's acting like she's broke. No, she got serious money in her account. She's playing games with the audience. She's playing games with people on the internet. And so when I cussed her out because I was like, Dad, here it is that she lying saying she making 500 a month on YouTube. That was a sneak diss to me. That was a sneak diss to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the most I ever made, 500 to 700 a month a couple of times on the internet. I don't really make money talking about people like that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. I'm talking about YouTube wise. So it's like to see her lie about people struggling in DoorDash. The people that struggle in DoorDash it's not willing to go far. They're willing to stay in the area. They don't want to go far. Because you do have options when it comes to DoorDash or what area you want to stay in. Uh, they're starting to do that. Uh, you don't have to go out your zone, So if you don't have to go out your zone, you know, and I think they have that in certain states where you don't have to go out your zone, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's that people love to see people lie to them. Like she's not struggling. She's not struggling at all. If she spend that much money, that means something is going on with her to be spending that much money like that and don't have nothing in return. Now that's crazy to me, you know. So that's why I got on myself. When I made that serious money, 10K, I was helping too many people out. And I didn't get nothing back in return of my help. They wasn't using the money the right way. So I just think that she's not using her money the right way because she's not moving correctly. You get what I'm saying? And honestly speaking, even on her low earnings in DoorDash, she's not making 500. Heck no. The lowest she probably making is 3,000, if that, and that's still pretty decent compared to what others make about. Some of us don't even make 1,000. We never seen 1,000 ever on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So if you making 500, that's cap. Probably one of your videos or two of your videos you made 500, but you ain't make no 500 for no month. Hell no. Hell no. You ain't going live. You doing pre-record videos, so it's no way. It's no way. It's no way. And then you're misleading your audience with the titles. It's crazy. She's doing a lot of projecting, y'all. And the reason why she's crashing out from time to time is because a lot of content creators is exposing her. You know, Rango, other content creators is exposing her big time. And she's, you know, applying that they all click and know people calling you out because they see the BS. And I'm calling you out based on doing DoorDash when I made serious paper on that at one particular time. You know? I mean, the money was coming in, serious money coming in, to the point I was making more than where I was working at times. And remember, what she don't tell you is it's a daily payout. And if I'm not mistaken, if she got the DoorDash card, she could disperse 3 times a day. Yeah, 3 times a day. Uber Eats, you could disperse 5 times a day. Think about what I'm saying. So if she's using both apps, she's making serious money. If one app is not making you money, the other app is making you money. If she know how to use it correctly, heck yeah, she could make bread. So I don't know. It's like, why would you need to lie, DoorDash? Why? Oh, because that's how you get to support. People love to support lies. People don't love to support truth. It's crazy. It's backwards. Yes, I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised. The truth of the matter is, I made serious money doing DoorDash. I had 3 vehicles in one time in New York. You know what I'm saying? I was driving different vehicles. I was just making serious. I paid the cars off, yo. I literally paying cars off in New York back then and renting them out. So there was once upon a time I was making 6 figures. Not saying I do now. Eventually I get back to that. It's just a matter of wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. She literally did the bold-faced lie saying that she struggled in DoorDash. Even off her shorts, she made money. You know what I'm saying? Lots of views. Advertisement. More likely she could have gotten an advertisement if she was being upfront. She would have got 2 advertisements. She would have been straight. Yet she lies so much. Nobody in the advertising community want to advertise her. You know, her skits be interesting. You know, So I don't know. I don't know what is her issue. To sit here and say she's struggling with rent and this and that and this and that and this and that. No, she ain't struggling with no rent. She's struggling having a spending problem. And she's been unable so much. She don't know what to do with all that money she got. So she go crazy with it. She spend nilly willy because she knows that people will come back and support her. If people were not to support her like that, guess what? That will make her think twice about how to spend her money. I'm just saying. Especially it's just her. Don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense. I'm not saying she's not supposed to go places and do different things. The thing is, if you live above your means, then you live above your means. You have to deal with the consequences of it. You know. So I just wanted to address the audience that was in the live chat. Particularly my bad because I went off and I know that yo was talking about the situation and it was just the timing on my part. You know, I had to publicly apologize to those people that was in the chat, you know, because you was talking about the situation and then it kind of went left field when I was seeing certain things that made me wanted to know what's going on. And you don't want to push people away from your content, you know. So those people came for the first time to, you know, say what they needed to say based on what I was talking about. So it goes to show you I was really like passionate and I was so cussing her out, call her all types of names. I did, y'all. And that's because I'm like, there's no way she could lie about door dashing with a bow-faced lie, knowing I used to make that type of money. So I know she's in Texas and things were kind of shut down, not to the extent of New York, yet she was making serious money. If she did it in 2020, 2021, 2022, while I was prominent, heck yeah. Now DoorDash, you can make money, not as what she used to make. You were not going to make as much as you used to. You're going to be have to be on the road a lot. Is she lying about that? No, she ain't lying about that. Yet, in her early stages of her videos, looking at it now, when she was doing it when the thing shut down, people was more home. She made serious stats. In Texas, if I was making close to 10K in New York 2020 when I started in August, she weighed way more than that with her own vehicle. So hey, I don't know what else to say except that this is one of those situations that it showed me the type of character she is to lie to her audience. For what? Why lie to your audience? Why? Yeah. Shout out to those who's doing DoorDash and shout out to the people that UPS. I was just saying at the time I was doing, DoorDash at my peak, I was making more money than most UPS drivers or FedEx or Amazon. I was making 40, 50 an hour. I was. Here in Florida, I was. I was shocked. I was making close to 5K a month. In my work, it was like 3 to 4K. I was making close to 10,000 a month, y'all. Almost seven. Anywhere from 5 to almost 8. a couple of times close to 10K, y'all. For real. I was like, wow, 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 wow. So, you know, I just don't see her making less than 2K, y'all. There's no way. She doing dashing if she's still doing that from time YouTube or whatever else she got going on that people believe in. She's making serious money. There's no way she's struggling. Yes, she put it on because she knows a lot of people struggling and people emotionally will watch those type of videos. People don't support motivation videos. She realized that. So what she did was just like every other person that's on YouTube, put these plot themes on to catch your attention and people fall for it and won't even question her on it. That lady ain't struggling, y'all. No way. If she has a spending problem, that's possible. Yet she ain't struggling. She's just projecting. Just like most of these other content creators projecting. And so if you want to watch the video, you have to become a member because I did a lot of excessive cussing. I call it different type of names. Instead of sticking to the content, I went off, call it different type of names. And I had to remove monitorizing the video and put it for members only to see the raw content. Because I went in, I haven't done that in a long time, like going in on a person, like cussing like a sailor. And so what that showed me is that you got to be on point when you do your content. At the same time, it just bothered me when she lied. So I showed the receipts. I showed what I made on YouTube. I showed what I made on DoorDash, you know, back then. And it's like, wow, this woman sit here and did a bold-faced lie. She sure did. She sure did. And so I appreciate y'all for tuning into the show. You know, everybody's watching in the clouds. You know, it's not too much else to say except that it's unfortunate. You know, it's very unfortunate that she had to lie to her audience. You could make some money, maybe not what I used to make, or you probably is. I don't know. Only you know. You know, just say, I'll be safe out there. Safe out there. Because it's a very different time we in, y'all. Very different time we in, you know. Things is changing. You know, in this current construct, things are changing. So, y'all be safe out there. I'll holler at you soon. Just wanted to tell you how much I made, you know, back then. And, you know, you can make a decent amount. You can make $40, $50 in 2 hours, you know, depending on your area, the type of environment you in, stuff like that, you know, because not everybody's going to support even in DoorDash. You might go through droughts where there's no tips here and there. And just don't take, like, I don't take certain orders if I know the person is not going to tip or not going to really be willing to give cash. I just don't care for the ratings for the most part. Like, people be like, man, I want to be a top dasher. Like, being a top dasher doesn't guarantee you to make a lot of money. The only thing about being a top dasher is you could go to certain zones. You don't have to schedule. That's how they get you. You know what I'm saying? They get you with the scheduling. Not scheduling. I mean, when you become a top dasher, because you made a lot of deliveries, you know, you could dash anywhere, you know, in the states. When you're a top dasher, you could dash anywhere in the United States, in certain parts of the world. That's the only good perk about it. You're a top priority, you know? At the same time, Is you going to make the money you're supposed to make that particular month to keep it going? That's what they don't tell you. When it comes to DoorDash, is that you have to make a certain amount of deliveries per month to keep yourself as a top dasher. Otherwise, you go back to doing regular schedule. So it's just unfortunate, y'all. This woman is lying, both-faced lying on the internet. Well, there's people out there like myself who don't make that much on the internet. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube. I'm not going to get no money out of this. I'll get a few views here and there. People may comment on it. That's about it. Like, if you want to make serious money on the internet, it's 3 topics. And number 3 is skits, or you could put it in the top. Skits, doing shows with other people, and your channel could really go to next heights. Are you talking about money, political stuff, and travel? That's what really makes content money. You know what I'm saying? Going in on people is just to expose who they are and caught them in their lies. Yet that's not in the top 10 of making money unless you get a hit here and there. It may go through the algorithm and people, bench watch it. Yeah, you could make some decent money with it. The truth of the matter is actual content people gravitate to, I realize, is skits, political money, and travel stuff. That's about it. Anyway, let me get on out of here. To all the DoorDashers out there that's still grinding, y'all be careful, be safe on them roads. Shout out to y'all for continuing to do it. So if anything, what I take out of this situation is don't be like her. Don't lie to your audience. Be transparent. And I get it. She went that route because she knows people gonna support her more for her lie, stating that she's poor. People will support in droves because she make believing she's poor, and the whole entire time she's living very well than most people that's gone through it. People are going through it. People don't know if they're gonna get any help. That's why you have to figure it out as time goes on. So like I said, I do apologize to those who watched the recent live stream. I cussed out her a lot, and it's not even worth doing that. Sticking to the material, calling out her out like that was because of my passion and disrespect to me or to anybody that's not making that much money on YouTube. When she's making money on YouTube, she's making serious money on YouTube. To be acting like she's not. And she's not the only one doing it. It's just so happens she's the one that's being talked about right now, the most for the time being. Hello to those who's viewing. If you in different parts of the world, salute to y'all for taking the time to watch this video. So, yeah. Yeah, y'all. To make serious money on the internet, you gotta put in a lot of work. And I don't make the time as I used to do the content because I got too much else going on I need to focus on, So when I do make time, I talk about things that could push you to the next step because I'm pushing myself to the next step too. So, yeah, I really did crash out, y'all. They will say it's a crash out. They're going to say, he really did crash out. Did I really crash out? No, I was very passionate and went in, cussed her out. I really cussed her out, y'all. I did. I own up to it. It was not necessary to do that. Just call her out for what it is and keep it moving. However, it was just like, wow, this woman had the nerve to lie to say she only made 500 on YouTube. I said, woman, you a liar. That's a sneak diss. There's people on here that don't make that much money. I'm happy to be one of them. I don't get that much money from YouTube because of the content I push out. It's not worth a lot of revenue in the eyes of YouTube. It's not. It's very low CPM. She don't have a low CPM. She do not have a low CPM. They push her videos out. They push her out in the algorithm. So what she's talking about. The only reason why her videos is low because of her lies. It's catching up to her. You know? So anyway, that's about it. Shout out to those who, is calling her out. I'm just gonna just address this once and for all. That back then, yes, I was making serious money. Can you make decent money on all that? Sure. If you need something for the time being, you may have to do 2 to 3 hours to make the goal. If you want to make 100, or you might make it in one shot. Who knows? So that's practically it, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. I got to get ready to take care of business. Brown royalty to the people, we the business.